Hey Aussie gamers, Luke1 here, and today I'll be bringing you a noob review of the game called Insurgency, and I'm going to be playing this game on Steam PC. What is a noob review? Well, a noob review is a review that I'm going to do of a game that I know very little about and I'm just learning how to play it. Basically, it's going to help you guys out on working out whether or not you should pick this game up if it has any interest to you whatsoever. First of all, what is Insurgency? Insurgency is a realism-inspired tactical shooter. Now, it's a first-person shooter, and you basically play it like a lot of games, like Rainbow Six Siege or Counter-Strike Go. And now I mention those games specifically because they are the games that I feel are most inspired by this type of game, or vice versa, however you want to look at it. Insurgency revolves around very realistic-based objectives. So you're not going to be going into Insurgency and playing games like Team Deathmatch or Demolition or anything like that, where you're going to be around and killing people, spawning, die, or anything like that. There's going to be lives, and respawn takes a long time where they are available. Now, starting off in the game, you can go through a single player or solo tutorial where it is quite good and it'll show you how to play the game, but by no means will it show you how to be any good at the game. It is a very hard, brutal, hard-hitting game, so you will die a lot, you will die very quickly and very easily. When you are in a game, regardless of what the game mode is, you will find that it is a very minimalistic game. It won't show you a lot of things in the actual game while you're playing. There's very minimal HUD, there's no enemy markers, there's no hit markers, there's no kill indications or anything like that. So you won't actually know if you're shooting at somebody from a great distance and you've got a little scope or no scope at all and they go down, you won't actually know if you've killed them or not. They may be dead, they may have just taken cover and aren't firing back or anything like that. So it is very realistic on that front. So it can be frustrating because you're not sure if you've got the kill or not. Whether or not you can walk out into the open or if you should keep taking cover is a little bit unknown. And your enemies can come back at you at some pretty serious force. While you're shooting at them with a pistol, they may come back at you with an RPG and take you out and maybe your whole team. Alright, so now I want to make a mention about the graphics. Now the graphics in Insurgency aren't going to melt your GPU or kill your PC at all. But they are quite nice. The graphics are really refined. They look nice, play well, but the good thing about it is it's not going to destroy your computer. So most modern PCs aren't going to have any trouble playing this game, probably on max settings. Now my PC that I run it on is probably about 3 years old now, and it runs this game on full spec and 60 frames a second and doesn't miss a beat. So it plays really well, and I've not had any issues with crashes, and I've had no real problems with connectivity to the servers that are available. And there are quite a lot of servers available, and making a mention on the multiplayer side, there are a lot of people playing this. At the times that I was playing it, you're probably looking at roughly around 2,000 to 3,000 people playing at the times. Right, so when you're playing a game, you'll play as either terrorist or some sort of private military corps, and the weapons that you get to choose will be indicative of that team that you're playing as. So I guess for an example, the good old AK-47 will be your terrorist's weapon of choice, and sorry I don't really know the names of the guns, but you'll get those spiffy cool tactical weapons when you do play as the PMCs. So that's how that works, and there are quite a good choice of weapons that you can choose. And at the beginning of each round or each match that you play, you are given the option to choose a class. So you've got like your support classes, your assault classes, sniper classes and things like that. So I'm not going to go into all the nitty gritty of the things because, as I said, this is a noob review, and just giving you guys an idea of what to expect if you do decide to pick up Insurgency. So now at the beginning of this review I mentioned that Insurgency is very similar to games like Rainbow Six Siege and Counter-Strike. Now with the Rainbow Six Siege side of things, it's very tactical, and there's a lot of modes such as cooperative, where you will go and take down all of the enemies in a specific area and destroy their weapon caches. Or there is also multiplayer modes where you can go in and verse other teams of whether it be terrorists or PMCs. When you do play cooperative with your friends, you can play with up to 6 people playing on a team, and same goes for the other team, obviously. So it's a symmetrical shooter. So you basically go in there with the multiplayer and shoot each other until one team is completely dead. Now, it is not only just shooting the opposition. You will also have objectives that you will need to do, such as occupying a space. So basically clear out the enemies out of a particular area and maintain that area for your team, and that'll get you the win. Alright, now, particularly because I'm talking about a Steam game here, I want to make mention about controller support. Whenever I purchase a game on the PC, I like to make sure that the game has controller support, because I'm not particularly good with a mouse and keyboard. Now, that might have something to do with the fact that I am left-handed and I struggle a little bit with the layouts without having to mess them all up and customize them. Now, Insurgency does have full controller support, however it is a little bit buggy. And by that, every time that I've turned it on, enabled it in the settings, sometimes some of the buttons on the controller don't work. On separate occasions I've had where the sticks work, so I can look up, look down and move around, but I can't aim and shoot. I've turned the controller off, reconnected it, and then I might have control over the shooting, but my sticks won't work. And I've just fiddled around with it a bit, gone into the settings, exited the game, gone back in, and eventually I get it all to work. So you can get them all to work, but you may run into some issues. Now, the controller that I was using was an Xbox 360 controller. That's what I've tested that on. I'm not too sure about other third-party controllers such as Logitech or anything like that, and whether or not they have issues, I don't know. But with an Xbox 360 control, I did have some issues. And in saying that as well, with other games that I have played on Steam, I never had any issues with the controller, so I can pretty much rule out that it is my controller and my setup. Alright, so all in all, playing Insurgency, I played it with a few of my mates and we had a really good time with it. However, based on how brutal it is, I would really call this a serious, hardcore game. So when you are playing in the multiplayer arenas, you are going to come up against players that are really, really good and play this game a fair bit. If you aren't in for the long haul and just want a game that you can pick up every now and then and have a go, this probably isn't your game, because I would dare say that if you want to be anywhere competitive and get anywhere with this game, you're probably going to have to stay up late a lot of nights of the week and play this game continuously, because it's that kind of game. But it does have the feel that if you are into something like that, you are going to be playing a game that is going to hold its own and is going to be a real competitive game that will play well for you. So if that's you, grab this game. If it's not, maybe have a look at something else available and go that way. But thank you very much everybody for watching. I'm Luke One for Aussie Gamers Express. Please feel free to click like and subscribe to our channel if you want to check out some of our other videos and reviews. Also head across to our Aussie Gamers Express Facebook page, and we also have a weekly podcast which you can find on iTunes, Stitcher and TuneIn Radio. Go and listen to us. Myself and a couple of my colleagues are on there, and we have a good time doing it, so please check us out. Thanks everyone for watching this video. See ya.
In the sky, gazing far into the night.